Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to Brownlow Books. I recently read Hidden Pictures by Jason, how do I say this? Rekulak? Arugula? I don't know, okay? So, I read Hidden Pictures. It was fine. I'm gonna put a blanket warning of spoilers, because I'm gonna go off on some things. And I just blanket all of the video, okay? So yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was a book club pick, not my pick, a friend's pick. And it was tagged as horror, like everywhere I looked. And I'm like, as I'm reading it, I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, shouldn't something have happened by now that's like, So yeah, it's not a horror. It's just fucking not. It is a supernatural thriller, I would call it. A paranormal thriller, whatever you want to call that. Horror it is not. All right? That's first. The reason I think it's fine and not great, I mean, I've seen everyone talk about this. It has a lot of fucking reviews and ratings on Goodreads. It does have pictures inside of it, hidden pictures. But yeah, it's... Thoughts. I have lots of thoughts on it, and I have no thoughts on it. It's a really weird thing for me to have going on right now. So, I'm not going to pretend that I got it right off the bat of, like, what's happening here. But near the beginning, when... what's her name? Mallory? Mallory is, being interviewed to watch Teddy, and Teddy's going to the bathroom, and there's this, like, whole weird interaction with the family and her where it's like, he doesn't need help in the bathroom, that's a private spaces kind of thing. I was like, he's 5. That's kind of weird. A 5-year-old still sometimes needs help in the bathroom, you know? They're not just, like, willy-nilly out there doing their thing. Like, sometimes they need help. They need to be, like, reminded to wash their hands. Like, children. Small children. And I was like, that's kind of weird. And that's kind of the only thought I had at that point. I was like, that's kind of weird. This children's just... This child is just odd. The more we learn about this child, I'm just like, this child's just kind of odd. Okay, fine. And then this school repeatedly calling over and over again to register them for kindergarten. I'm like, I went into kindergarten when I was 4. I thought that was kind of weird. Something about that felt off to me. But, like, I did not put any of it together of what we were going to get to, right? So it's just kind of like, okay. That whole thing, which leads to, the reveal at the end. I was very annoyed with the focus of Mallory on Annie, who used to live in her cottage. Something about it, I was just like, you're saying Annie, and this, like, supernatural force that's going through, like, Teddy is saying, Anya. And I'm like, not the same. Like, no. And it was just like, I was so frustrated. I was like, this is, like, such a red herring and not done in a great way. I was very annoyed by that. I don't know. I always say I like thrillers, and then every time I read a thriller, I'm like, it was fine. Like, I can't remember the last time I enjoyed and loved a thriller. But yeah, I was very, very annoyed by that. I mean, there were so many things I was annoyed by in this book, but, like, they were so small that it was like, this is fine, except for that one. That one annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm like, Annie and Anya are not the same name. So, things I loved and hated at the same time. In our big reveal in the end in the cottage, where the husband... Ted comes lumbering in and he's like, oh my god, it's so, you're already packed. Let's run away together. Let's just leave them behind. It doesn't matter. We're gonna go. We're in love and this is great. And she's like, the fuck? Yeah, Yeah, men. Men in every thriller I have ever read where there was a fucking nanny or babysitter or, like, governess, whatever, like, yeah, men. I had a laugh at that part. I am not gonna lie. Like, we're in this, like, big tense standoff of what the fuck is happening, the reveal of this book, and I'm just like, men. So I thought that was kind of funny and, like, because, you know. I enjoyed Mitzi Next Door, even though there's nothing about Mitzi Next Door to enjoy. I don't know, like, something about her is just like, look at this fabulous old woman just, like, living her life in this neighborhood and everyone hates her. Like, I always enjoy that person in a novel where they're, like, outsiders in the neighborhood, and I'm like, yep, me, you, yeah, we're good. Same. So, I said this was for, did I say this was for book club? This was for book club. Several of our members did audiobooks and they were like, are there pictures that are supposed to be with these that I'm not seeing? Yes, there are. They borrowed another friend's book to see them. One of them didn't even look at them until book club and she's like, yeah, okay. But yeah, a fellow member brought up, I have not looked at online reviews, but she looked at online reviews. It was her book. She pointed out that there are some very weird, polarizing kind of reviews on this online where a bunch of people are like, this book is so woke, or they're like, this book is, like, so far right crazy. And at the same time, it is both pro-trans and anti-trans, and this isn't trans anything. I don't know why. Yeah. But apparently the reason people think that is because Mallory, our reformed, rehabbed drug addict who is now Christian because, hey, AA is a Christian organization and you have to accept God to get sober in their presence. Yeah. Yeah. So they have this, good Christian girl who is, like, rescuing this trans kid from, these science-believing atheist parents. And so it's, like, far right and far left at the same time. Went so far either way, it just came back. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was for these people saying that, but, like, I found, when she told us, I started laughing. I laughed at this book. This book is a supernatural thriller, paranormal thriller, and I fucking laughed at it a lot. But yeah, I started laughing when she said that, and, like, that people were saying this online, and I'm like, kidnapping 101 is, like, change the kid's appearance. I mean, I don't know about anybody else watching, but I grew up in the era of stranger danger. And so I was told a lot of things that definitely traumatized me as a child. So yeah, kidnapping 101 has changed the kid's appearance, and, like, the kid was young enough when they stole the child and murdered her mother that, like, if you were saying, oh, what a sweet little boy for their entire life with you, they're gonna think, like, oh, I guess I am a boy. Like, it's not like they're choosing to be a boy, which is what they were trying to play it off in as, like, the parents, and it was a fucking mess. This book's a bit of a hot mess. I appreciate it for what it is, but, like, it's nothing special, and I'm kind of like, how have so many people loved and adored this and gone on and on and on about it online? Like, legitimately confused. It's a fine book. I like that there's, illustrations in it. That's an interesting kind of thing, but, like, that's the only thing that's special about it. So yeah. It was fine. Once more, it was fine. It has over 293,000 ratings on Goodreads, and they work out to 4.15. So clearly people are seeing things that, like, I'm not seeing. I'm like, yeah, it's a good enough book, but I don't know, I think it's tainted by the message these people seem to be getting from it. Like, when I sat down at book club, I was like, this is fine. This was a fine book. I'm not like, damn you, Holly, for making us read this. I wasn't like that, and I have been like that with books in the past. But, it wasn't like oh my god, this was an amazing book. This was amazing. It was so good. Oh my god. I wasn't like that. Maybe I just don't like thrillers anymore. My knee's itchy. Okay, so that was that. I mean, there was a lot of interesting twists in this book. I just felt like the artist of, like, Missing Annie was, like, overpowering all of it. Because it was just, like, very obvious when one thing was going towards Annie and one thing was going somewhere else. And so, trying to put them together, I was like, these don't go. Like, you're not giving me a good solid red herring. You are just giving me two separate storylines, and I know one of them is going to be wrong. I did find it kind of weird that the, like, supernatural paranormal aspect of it was in fact a supernatural paranormal element of it. Like, there is actually a haunting, which I guess is why people are calling it horror, but yeah, when the reveal was that, yes, we are actually being haunted, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I legitimately thought that, like, you know, they're drugging this former drug addict and making her feel like she's going crazy. They're gaslighting the fuck out of her. Like, it is just going to be this, like, crazy reveal of them, like, making her fucking insane. That's what I wanted. The gaslighting was not strong enough in this book for me. I wanted, like, Rosemary's Baby level of gaslight, okay? That's what the fuck I wanted, and, not here. It was legitimately haunted. People haunted, not house haunted, right? And yeah, it was just the reveal of it all together. I was like, what? And not in like a what? I just, what? You know the different whats? I wasn't a huge fan, nor do I hate it. It was fine. Okay. That's pretty much it. Like, there are little things I can nitpick on, there are little things that I found interesting, but I felt like it wasn't strong enough for what it was trying to do. I mean, this is gonna sound really crazy. Everyone is fucking gaslit by someone, something, the government, whatever these days, and like, the gaslighting is so strong, and just like, I expected more from this. I was like, this is like level 1 gaslighting, and I wanted like a level 4, you know? Like, make her think she is legitimately fucking going crazy. But it was something else that was like influencing, and it's just, parents, learn to work with the dead mother of your child. Come on! Alright, no. I'm done. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you around next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.